believe.
There it is.
There he is.
Please give me the controller right now.
This level's really, really, really fun on Legendary. It's not too
I
hard
believe
at all. There's plenty of grenades.
And what you're going to see if I think we'll have screenshots on IGN now, or if not now, very soon. You guys had Blur, one of the really well-regarded cinematic studio, redo all of the Halo 2 cinematics. So Sergeant Johnson went from he hasn't aged well as far as the 2004 engine to now he looks basically picture the Halo 4 cutscenes, but better, effectively, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, Halo 2, really, I mean, there's over like 60 minutes of cinematics, and Blur's redoing all of them. And what's fun is the cinematics also work with that back feature, so you can swap instantly between the new cinematics to the old ones while you're watching it. But the other thing we did with Blur, which is really interesting, is that we've created an intro and an outro, if you will, that's going to kind of start to tease to what we're doing with the next Halo in terms of storyline and things like that. That was a big thing that people enjoyed in the first anniversary with the terminals in particular, was we started teasing some of the Halo 4 storyline. So we're going to be doing a lot of that in this game as well.
You guys have terminals and skulls in Halo 2 now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there's Halo 2 anniversary, we'll get into it.
Yeah, and as you can see, I mean, you can swap through these chapters really easily. You can select whatever it is that you want to play. And you can see over there at the top as well the notion of playlists. So the other thing that's a ton of fun about having everything unlocked are just we're going to have these customized playlists taking moments from all of the games and putting those together.
So if I want to do all the Warthog missions from all 4 Halo games right in a row with 2 to 4 friends, I can do that?
You can just go right in it. We're going to have a bunch of different ones. My personal favorite is just literally the grind from like the first mission of the first Halo to the last mission of Halo 4.
There better be an achievement for that. Reveal that right now.
We'll have a little something for the people who do that. That's... I don't think we want to leave that one
That's like the endless set list in Rock Band. That's basically the Halo equivalent of that. So every mission in every game is unlocked from the get-go, right? There's no need to, I don't have to play through all 4 games again. It's just all right here.
Yep, completely unlocked. I mean, you absolutely can play through, each of them entirely if you want. But you can hop through if you want to skip a mission. You don't want to play the library. You want to, hop past that. You can absolutely. Frank always gives me the look when I say
I got to ask, guys, what's, so Halo 2 is getting the anniversary treatment, but what about? I mean, Halo 3 is kind of caught in the middle, right? It's 2007, early generation 360 game. What's being done from the visual side on Halo 3, if anything at all?
That's a great question. Halo 3 and Halo 4, they kind of don't need it as much. Yeah. Obviously, they were pretty good-looking games on the last generation system. They both really benefit though from going to 1080p, 60 frames a second, and some of the changes isn't necessarily just in resolution or sort of overall fidelity. Some of the things that we did, especially in Halo 4, there's some detail and data in the graphics that is just showing up now in a way that it wouldn't before. And you can think of it kind of like a Blu-ray remaster in some ways. Right. And some of that's just a sort of natural evolution of just bumping it onto that bigger GPU with more RAM and so on. Yeah. But they both look pretty modern. Halo 4 in particular, and I would say this, of course, but it kind of looks almost like a next-gen game. Just running it.
Well, it was almost so it was crazy how good that game looked on 360. It looks
better on Xbox
like Gulch,
One.
Hang 'em high.
There we go.
Jump into that one. Yes, we're seeing poking around the interface here.
Yeah, I think they're scrolling around the interface.
So it's also there's a key detail. So Frank, you mentioned the 6 reimagined Halo 2 multiplayer maps that are being done in an Xbox One engine. That's in addition to, they're all there in their original classic form. This is in addition to, and Max Hoberman, the original Halo 2 multiplayer lead, who started Certain Affinity and has done a lot of Halo multiplayer maps for you guys. He designed those, right? These new ones?
Yeah, I mean, really, if you want to really think about it, you could say there are 5 multiplayer maps in this, right? You've got the original one, modes, thank you. The original one, the original 2.
What happened to 100?
Oh my God! The original 1, 2, 3, 4, and also this newer one that we've done for these new 6 reimagined maps. It was really interesting with Max, as we said, he was the original designer on these things. When we started working on this and I called him up, he was all in. He was just really excited to be able to do it. Then we sat down with him and just started talking, like, what are things you wanted to do that you couldn't necessarily get done, either for time, either for technology, things like that. And as you look at these maps today, what are, how would you like to envision these? So it's just a fabulous process working through with Max and the rest of the team over there in bringing these maps to life. And we showed you guys Ascension today, and we'll be rolling out some of the other maps as we get closer to launch.
And let's touch on, so Halo 1, of course we talked about the multiplayer. The campaign, it is the anniversary edition of the Halo 1 campaign. So with that one, we can. It sounds like it's not being given maybe the full Halo 2 style treatment where it's built for Xbox One, but it is the switch back and forth between classic and the sort of modern, the refreshed look we saw a few years ago.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's the same one we launched at. Here we go.
We're in the Cairo station. 1080p, 60 frames. So you know what? I wanted to ask you guys this. I believe you had confirmed this for me earlier. Two-player online co-op for the first time in the Halo campaign, correct? Halo 2 campaign?
That's right. Yeah, we're going to have that for in particular for 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
We're going to have those across the board on those, which is going to be a tremendous amount of fun. Similar for Forge as well. You're going to be able to Forge on 2, 3, and 4.
Awesome. Forge on 2?
That's correct.
How is that possible?
That's more the magic. Yeah, I know. I saw some speculation just before we got here, actually, like people wondering if we were doing Forge for those or not. And yeah, we absolutely are.
Yeah, when I met with you guys just a few weeks ago, you hadn't confirmed it, and I put it in my. I have a big preview piece that breaks down everything on IGN right now. I need to actually go in and update that with some good news.
I want to keep you going. Yeah, no, so absolutely. So when when we spoke, what was it, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
something like that. We were close to locking it, but we weren't 100%. And between now and then, that has locked and confirmed.
So, Dan and Frank, I want to have you talk us through here what's going on.
Well, you're coming up to
about the visual fidelity and exactly what's going on under the hood here.
Caveat the whole thing. This is obviously work in progress.
Sure.
This is going to get better and better as we keep working through it. And there's definitely with this kind of development, there's a lot of layering that goes in, even more so than building a game from scratch.
Yeah.
And but we're pretty happy.
There it is.
Yeah, and it's funny. Sometimes the change is really jarring and frightening, but sometimes it's kind of testament to how well built the game environment were in the first place. And we saw that with the original Anniversary. But yeah, and the other thing is the switch is instant now. Previously there was a little bit of lag as you switch between the memory and screen buffers, and now that switch is 100% instant. You can do it in the middle of a firefight and survive.
So are these Elite and Grunt models built off? Are these the Halo 4 ones? Are these all new models that have been done for the enemies?
So we grabbed from a number of different games actually to pull them together for this. So you can see there's a pretty stark difference even between the characters here as you're swapping back and forth. So really there's no one answer to that. We grabbed across the board and made modifications on a case by case. But yeah, you can really tell that swap. One of the things we wanted to do, people really enjoyed that swap so much, and we wanted to evolve that as well for Xbox One. As Frank alluded to, there was that fade in, fade out on the first one, and we've just got obviously more power to work with now. So a big thing was just to make that swap instantaneous.
Frank, this is something in particular that I've talked to you about before. I'm curious, with the Halo 2 Anniversary in particular, was there ever any consideration or investigation done into the infamous E3 2003 single-player demo? That mission that never made the game.
We talked about
making that playable for this.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think the problem is that in a very real sense, it's a completely different engine than all of the other ones. So you'd have to bubble off this segment of the engine. The content, and Joe is, I believe, at the show. He'll speak to this as well. The content is all real.